I recently did a video where I described in detail how I built this half-scale replica visible gas pump that's an EV charger. So in this video I'm going to show you the how, where, and why I installed it in this location, so stay tuned. Over the last couple of years, and also on my channel, I showed how I built this garage. Prior to that, I built the shed on my channel. After the garage was built, we recently had a new patch of asphalt put in to provide a driveway in between the garage and the shed that goes all the way back to that fence. So as you can see, the driveway goes all the way back to the end of my workshop where I built this fence recently. Now this fence wraps all the way around the shed here. Now this little area here behind the shed is about 10 by 10, and right now I've been using it as basically a junkyard. But what I plan to do, and this is a little foreshadowing for future videos on my channel, is I plan to tear this all out and make in a nice paved place that I can maybe park a trailer or do something with it. I also plan to put signs up all over the fence and make this kind of a cool little vignette on the outside of my workshop. So I decided to install my new visible gas pump right outside the door of my workshop here. Not only is it accessible to each of my EV vehicles that I can just pull in right here and charge, but it's also kind of the cornerstone to my little backyard area here, which I intend to build out like I just mentioned, and this will be kind of the centerpiece for this little back area. Now before I go into how I affixed this to the pavement and how I wired it in, there was a couple prerequisites I had to do before I even installed this thing. The first being that since I installed it right above the door and therefore near the roof line here, I didn't want a heavy rain to just stream water all on top of this thing. So I decided to first, before I install it, install this gutter here. Now, when I had gutters added to my house over there, I didn't do it myself. I decided to hire a professional because professionals can make seamless commercial grade 6-inch gutters way better than you could do it. But because this is my little workshop right here and it's about an 18-foot section, I didn't want to hire a professional and pay all that money. I didn't think it would be worth it. So what I did was I went to the big box store and got just the cheap 5-inch K-style gutters. So I got two 10-foot sections to make this 18-foot total section here. I just simply overlapped them in the middle here and just did a bunch of gutter sealer and rivets to overlap them together. I started up high over here and hung it about an inch lower over here to give myself at least about ½ inch per 10 feet of drop. Then I added an AB style downspout elbow into a B style downspout elbow and just wrapped the downspout down the back of the workshop and out there. So now during a heavy rain, yes, this will get wet, but it won't have a streaming of water dumping onto it. So the next thing I did was I went ahead and wired in a box that's outdoor rated so that I can just hardwire the pump into it. So what I decided to use, the cheapest thing, was an AC disconnect type box. And these are rated at about 60 amps, which is more than enough for this 20 amp circuit that I put it on. So the way I did that is inside, I ran a whip out of my 220 box and into the back of this disconnect box. Then I mounted the disconnect box to the wall, making sure that I made it completely plumb, and I just kind of put it underneath the lap there. When you do that, you're going to end up with some gaps here. So I filled those gaps in with a closed cell foam rubber, and then I caulked it all around. So it's all caulked in, and I'll probably paint a little bit around the edges to clean that up. But this gave me a cheap way to get my power safely outside and available to my pump. Now as you can see, I use liquid tight fittings, liquid tight conduit, and I wrapped it down, around, and up into a liquid tight fitting here. The reason I did that loop like that is so that it's resting on the floor, so if anything steps on it or whatever, it doesn't put stress on anything here. And it's fine to be buried in snow since that's PVC non-metallic conduit. I actually just took the 12 gauge 3-conductor extension cord that I had coming out of that. I ran it through the conduit. I just stripped back the wire and then I tinned the wire with solder and I lugged it onto the load side of the disconnect. So it's pretty simple to wire in, and it's completely safe and weather tight. Now, I mentioned before about the construction of this, and everything's weather tight in there. But what I also had to do was, because this lid opened up, I put silicone caulk all around the seam here. So if I ever want to open it up again, and of course all over this hinge here, if I ever want to open it up again, I've got to like basically cut this caulk out in order to open it. I also caulked all the way around here and all the way around the seam here, so everything is watertight. I also put a little bit of silicone caulk right here against this piece. Everything else is rubberized gaskets, gland nuts. Everything is made to be watertight. Now on this door, I kind of showed you that I used rubberized gaskets, and I use a closed film rubber seal all the way around that, so that that door is also very watertight. Now let's talk about how I actually secured this to the asphalt. Now, if you remember how I actually built this, that 1-inch tube runs all the way through the center of the pump and goes all the way down through that spare tire rim that was my base, and all the way down to the ground. So we've got a center tube there. So I thought, well, maybe I'll use that to secure it. So what I did was I got my hammer drill and I drilled a 1-inch hole through the asphalt where I wanted that center to go. Not only did I drill through the 3 or 4 inches of asphalt, but I also then drilled down through the gravel base under the asphalt and got all the way to the soil. Then I took a piece of 3/8 rebar and I just sort of went in the middle of the hole. I just sort of pounded it all the way down as far as I could get it. So what I did also was I bought a 36-inch or 3-foot piece of 3/4 inch galvanized water pipe. I pounded it around the rebar and I pounded it down to the ground about halfway, or 18 inches into the ground, and then let 18 inches of it stick out from the ground, as you can see. Then with my son's help, we simply lifted up the pump and we sleeved it onto that pipe that's sticking 18 inches out of the ground. Now, to actually secure it to the ground, I didn't want to use wedge anchors because I wasn't sure if they'd work in asphalt. So what I decided to do was use these large tap cons. They're 6 inches long. They're the biggest tap cons I could find. And as you can see, I have a hole in the front and a hole in the rear. And again, using a 3/8 masonry bit, I drilled a pilot hole down through the asphalt with that. And then I simply used a driver to drive those tap cons into the holes and secured the pump to the asphalt. So with the combination of those giant tap cons and that center tubing, it stays pretty solid onto the ground, and I don't really think I'll have any issues with wind or anything else. So that's it for this video. If you like DIY content, electric car stuff, or other automotive projects, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you on the next one.